would have been on stage with Iris Kyle if I was on anything. Like,
Right.
I would have blew up.
So today, I come at you with a slightly different video. Rather than talking over and reacting to the footage of individuals doing whatever it may be, I'm going to be talking to you regarding a problem that I deem to be quite prominent in the fitness industry, whilst clips and pictures relevant to said problem will be displayed on screen. And that problem kind of follows on from a few videos I've covered, and it kind of asks and potentially answers a question, or maybe gives my input and opinion regarding a potential answer to the question of why so many individuals within the fitness industry are claiming natural when they are not. And by that I mean claiming natural, i.e. not taking any banned substances, i.e. PEDs, when they are most likely enhanced, thus leading them to potentially be a fake natural or fake natty. This is merely my opinion. I have no evidence of any of this. I'm merely stating a belief, an opinion based on what I know. Obviously my opinion, like with anything, is subject to change. If you like this slightly different format and perhaps want to see more of it, let me know in the comments section because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And obviously as per, we'll shoot for the 500 like goal for this one, although we will likely increase next week. If you are tickling this video and want me to tickle more videos like this, 500 likes is what we're shooting for. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel because I know a lot of you watching this video haven't. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. If you don't want to do it for me, do it because you like dogs. Yes, we'll go with that. Do it because you like dogs. Because I like dogs. I have a dog. So you know what? Subscribe to the channel for the dogs. They want you to and I want you to. End of the video. Comment question of the week. If you have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, drop it down below in the comment section and I shall do so. I know what you're thinking. Around the 5-6 minute mark, Harry's gonna slap me with intermission, but no, not today. We don't confuse the muscles here. We confuse ourselves. And that's what I've done. I've confused you. And myself. Story of my life. Honestly, if this doesn't make me look like a danger to society because of how menacing and frightening I look, then honestly I'm baffled, I'm at a loss. You see this in the gym, fear, like raw, like horns. Quick thing, I forgot to mention at the start, why did I do this? I'm useless. If you haven't already, click the WeTransfer link down below and download the free program template. It's a training program template that I designed to help you structure your own training program. It is free, and who doesn't love free things? But now we'll crack on and discuss the topic at hand. Obviously, as I've stated before, fake naturals are very prominent in the industry, and I'm going to talk about why I believe this may be occurring and why I believe people may be lying about their natural status online. And we're going to split the video into 4 primary sections, and we'll go through them bit by bit. Chapter 1. Legality. In a lot of countries, PEDs are illegal. Taking them is considered to be rather naughty, you know? Being honest about taking them is a bit of a tricky one. Do you really want to openly admit to taking an illegal substance online? Because on the internet, whatever you say on the internet is likely going to make its way to somebody, and it's likely going to stay on the internet for a very long time. I do know of some people that do openly admit to their use online, but then you've got to flip it around saying, is that dangerous? You're also looking at potentially risking encouraging others to take what you have taken. When an individual sees that their favourite influencer or content creator may be taking X amount of this, X amount of this, X amount of this, thus achieving those results doing so, one may feel inclined to kind of copy them. Like when you see your favourite influencers doing certain exercises, sometimes you want to replicate it and maybe try it yourself. Unfortunately, a lot of individuals do feel that way about PEDs. It's not unheard of for people to see, oh, you've taken 500 milligrams of this and a gram of this. I'll do that as well and let's see what happens to me. Everybody is different and everybody responds differently. Some people are low responders. I mean, arguably there are some non-responders out there potentially, but some people are also hyper responders, in which they can respond really well to a lower amount than a lot of other people, whilst also not experiencing a lot of side effects. But then an individual may take one low dose of a PED and experience horrendous side effects. Again, everyone is different and you just don't know. For example, let's look at an Olympia winner. Realistically, to get on that Olympia stage and win it, and to just get on that Olympia stage in general, you need to be ticking all the boxes. Top tier in the world genetics, elite work ethic, elite responsiveness to resistance training, and essentially being a hyper responder to PEDs. If you don't tick all the boxes, you're probably not going to get on the Olympia stage. And this is obviously more prominent within like the bodybuilding categories, because obviously bodybuilding, you want to pack on as much size and mass as possible in certain areas to achieve a certain look. I can do it. I can swap headwear if I want to. Try and stop me. And then another thing to consider is how does that look when approaching brands for sponsorships, affiliations, or whatever, which kind of brings us on to chapter 2, marketing. It's unlikely that brands are going to want to affiliate with individuals taking illegal substances, especially when you look at supplement companies. If they can convince the audience and the potential consumers that you have achieved your results taking their supplements rather than PEDs, that's going to increase the sale of those supplements, which is then going to increase the amount of money they're taking from consumers. Not only does claiming natural allow you to potentially appeal to a wider audience of potential sponsors or brands, it also makes you more appealing as an influencer or a content creator. If your favourite content creator turns around and says to you, I'm on PEDs, I feel like it's less likely for an individual to say, I want to look like that person if that person openly admits to taking PEDs. Not many people are going to want to aspire to look like a drug user. It's just not a very marketable thing, you know? The aspect of not only marketing for brands, but marketing for yourself as an individual, an influencer or content creator kind of leads us nicely to chapter number 3, image and reputation. PEDs, for example steroids, have a bad name. There's a lot of stuff out there about PEDs and steroids essentially that have given them a really bad name. A prime example is many years ago, Chris Benoit, who's a WWE wrestler, committed a heinous crime against his family, which I won't say on the camera. The first thing the media jumped to at the time was steroids. They found loads of steroids in his house, therefore this was an act of roid rage. It was only later that they started actually realising, you know what, he had the brain of a heavily demented 80-year-old person in his 40s due to repeated blows to the head. And it was later theorised and potentially even concluded, I'm not sure, I'm a bit out of the loop with the story, that it was likely actually a product of CTE, which is obviously something that Aaron Hernandez, the NFL player, was also suffering with, which could have contributed to their behaviours due to what was occurring in the brain, unfortunately. If you are already an angry person, they are likely going to increase and enhance how angry you are. If you're not an angry person, they are most likely not going to make you an angry person. They make you a bigger version of what you already are known to be. So if you're a twat, you're probably going to be an even bigger twat. The PEDs did not make you said twat. You were already one. They just made you bigger. So because of this, I feel like it's contributed to a very negative association to PEDs and PED users. Like I said, you were deemed to be a drug user. You are now perhaps negatively looked upon. I know a lot of people who would say, I don't like them because they take PEDs. Ultimately, it can really negatively impact your image. Your marketing point is you, your image, and your body. Perhaps stereotypes are involved. Oh, this individual takes PEDs, therefore they're a meathead. They're potentially intellectually inferior, perhaps. Maybe they're angry, they're an aggressive person because of this. Like, there are so many things that come into it. Stereotypes are still quite prominent in the world. And by no means am I ever saying you should take them or you shouldn't take them. I am not for them, I'm not against them. I'm very much for personal choice. You do you. You do what's best for you and your body. If you feel like, you know what, I can't achieve what I want to achieve without them, and you deem taking PEDs to be the route you want to go down, if that makes you happy, then you've got to prioritise your happiness. But please consider a few things. Are you being lazy? Yes, they do enhance your physique. They do essentially raise your ceiling. So if you take a bit of this, your ceiling will go from here to here. They do raise the ceiling and accelerate how quickly you can get to that new ceiling. In theory, you're like, fantastic. Oh, why wouldn't I want to do that? Because there are risks involved. You are risking potential health complications. You don't know what they're going to do to your body. How you respond to them is very subject to the individual. You could respond really well and not experience any side effects, fantastic. But the effects of long-term health are still very much unknown. What could happen in the future? You could respond really badly to them. Side effects all over the shop. Alter your body in ways you wish you didn't alter it. Thus leading you to potentially regret your decision. It's a big move, it's a big step. You've got to research. If you do go down that route, it's a risk that you need to make sure you're willing to take. Because as soon as you cash in that Natty card, it's in the bin. I'm not going to the recycling, picking out that Natty card and saying, you know what, you're off gear, you can have it back. No. Once it's gone, it's in the shredder. I'm not super gluing pieces to get it back together. There's a million pieces there. I don't have the time to super glue it. Your Natty card's gone, I'm sorry. It's your choice, you do what's best for you. But please research, please be careful, and please understand the risks, because there are plenty of them. And this leads me to the 4th chapter, In Too Deep. And I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. Shout out Sum 41, absolutely classic tune. My young years, I'm there for it. Brings back memories. The good old days when I was 7. If you're an influencer or content creator and you've claimed natural your whole life, realistically, if 10 years down the line, you've built this reputation on being a natural athlete when you are not, you're enhanced, therefore a fake natural, and you turn around and say to people, by the way, the last 10 years I've lied to you, I've been on gear this whole time, I just had to say I was natural because, you know, I thought it was a cool thing to do. How's that gonna look? Some people are in too deep. They've lived the lie too long to now be honest about it. Because if they do come out and openly they speak about it, they risk it absolutely slaughtering their reputation. The cracks have begun to show. It's going to be hard to rebuild from that. Be that a relationship, be that your followers, your fans, your community, whatever it may be. Breaking trust is hard to come back from. So yeah, sadly, so many people have lived the lie so long they can't really justify being honest anymore. Is it right? Absolutely not. I think claiming natural when you're not is an extremely dangerous thing, especially when regarding the mental health of consumers and the body image of consumers. If someone gets into training and they see certain physiques that they wish they could achieve, and they believe this person has achieved that physique naturally, therefore they're going to try their best to achieve the same physique, and then the result is they don't achieve said physique, how are they going to feel about themselves? The questions stem far beyond, or maybe genetically I'm not there. The questions stem into, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I could do more. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to be great. And that's going to lead to a lot of people falling off the wagon and potentially quitting. You want to encourage people to enhance their lifestyle through training, fitness, health, whatever it may be. You shouldn't be here to try and negatively impact the lives of those who trust you and consume your content. I'm all about trying to build people up and bring the positivity. That's not doing that. If you aren't comfortable being honest about it due to potential legal reasons, employment reasons potentially, image, marketing, whatever it may be, don't say anything about it at all. Don't claim to be something you're not. And that stems into a question of whether I'm natural or not. And this has kind of been asked a few times, mainly in my DMs, and I'll be frank with you, this is my answer to that question. I've never claimed natural, nor will I ever claim natural. Whether I am natural or not is for me to know and you to assume. My content is not built on my physique. The majority of people watching this video don't actually know what I look like. Most of my videos are me wearing triple extra large hoodies, or like now, a triple extra large oversized t-shirt. I love big baggy clothing because I like to hide what I look like on camera in most cases. I want you to consume my content for me, for who I am, for my personality, my message, and my knowledge that I'm trying to bring to you and hopefully help you along your fitness journey. I would never want people to consume my content because of what I look like and because of my physique. That's not how I'm trying to build my brand. It's far deeper than that. There's a lot of meaning behind TFNL. There's a lot of passion behind what I'm trying to do here. And I don't want my appearance to be the selling point of what I'm doing. Sure, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see my physique a bit more because it's a bit more personal on there. It's a bit more about me. My brand is built on me as a human, and it's much deeper than just aesthetics and visual appearance. Is a lot of these content creators and influencers build their brand on what they look like. Therefore, claiming natural when they're not is leading to those unrealistic expectations. Their selling point is their physique, and they're saying, I achieved this without something when they didn't. That's lying and that's wrong. My physique is not my selling point. So whether I'm natural or not is largely irrelevant, because I'm not here to tell you how I got big doing this or how I got shredded doing this. I'm here to hopefully enhance your training and bring some knowledge and positivity to the world of the fitness industry. If I failed that, I failed my message, and what's the point? So it's for that reason that my natural status doesn't matter, because my physique is not often on show or on display, and I'm not using that to sell myself as a content creator and as a brand. The take-home message of this video is this: if you claim natural when you're not, thus resulting or leading to people having unrealistic expectations of what's achievable naturally because you've built your brand on your physique and your natural status, that's wrong. And I do not back that. Regardless of legality, regardless of marketing, regardless of image, regardless of any of the things I've covered today, there's no excuse for that. That's deceptive and that's lying to your audience. You're breaking trust, and that's also, I would say, snaky behaviour. And despite, like I said before, I love snakes. I've got 4 on my arm. I don't like snaky behaviour because that's likely going to contribute to body image related issues, people having false expectations, unrealistic expectations of what they can achieve and what they should potentially look like, when the reality is this: you can achieve what you can achieve. Training is one of the few aspects of life where you can directly control the progress you make. You go to work and you give it your all. You're not guaranteed a promotion. You're not guaranteed recognition. If you go to the gym and you nail your food, you do all those bits and bobs external to just training, and you give it your all, you are guaranteed results. If you want to achieve further results, you train smarter, you train harder, you eat smarter, you eat better. Depending on goals, obviously. Which is partly why I love encouraging people to get into the gym or into training or exercise of some means, for whatever reason that may be. Because it's such a great thing to have complete control over. Just knowing that one aspect and one element of life, you have direct control over the outcome. And that's just phenomenal stuff. Honestly, that's such a powerful tool. It's really benefited my mental health, to be honest, and I really hope that benefits yours too. Because if something doesn't enhance your life and hinders your life, it's not worth doing. And ultimately, if consuming content from creators that are claiming natural when they're most likely not, regardless of how great their information may be, if they're lying to you and it's harming you, don't do it. You are the priority, and your mental health is as important, if not more important, than your physical health. Those are my thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear yours down below. But very quickly, I must finish the video, obviously, with comment question of the week. What are some of the best glute activation exercises to do before a workout? Hashtag dead glutes. I know the dead glutes struggle all too well. I don't really like the term activation. I think that implies that your glutes aren't working. If they weren't working, you wouldn't be able to perform certain movements. Just because you don't feel the movement doesn't mean it's not working. Like if you're doing a hip thrust and you can't necessarily feel your glutes working, alter your technique. Obviously, College Clean Eating in the previous video did give some good tips of how to alter it to help your glutes and optimize it biomechanically to place greater emphasis on the muscles you're looking to work. But glute activation essentially is an element of pre-exhausting the muscle. So making the muscle tired before then training it to then make it feel like it's working more and isn't being overpowered by other muscles. If you want to do some like hip circle stuff as part of your warm-up, like crab walks and stuff, go for it. Get the hips moving, get a bit of blood in the areas, like a nice warm-up. But I would never really consider it like an activation. That's it. That is the video. If you do like the video, please let me know you like the video by dropping a like on the video. 500 likes is the goal, so we'll shoot for that. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking the red button down below and subscribing to the channel, and potentially clicking the bell next to it so you get notified when I upload every week, twice a week. And if you have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, drop it down below for comment question of the week and I shall do so. Thank you for hopefully tolerating this different format. Thank you for tolerating my opinion, and thank you for tolerating the video.